So hey everybody, look what's going on. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys and gals are doing well. So look, today is a very exciting day. You know, if you're a gamer, if you're a creator, or if you're just a tech enthusiast in general, AMD went ahead and, dropped the embargo for all the creators out there to release their video reviews of the brand new AMD Radeon 7900 XT and the XTX variant of the same card. Now here's the thing here, okay? While I didn't really expect these cards to necessarily beat out Nvidia whenever it came to pure performance and or rasterization, they did pull ahead of the RTX 4080 in quite a few games, especially some AMD optimized games. But on average, from everything I am seeing from these reviewers, like, Jay's 2 cents, you got your Tech Jesus or Steve from Gamers Nexus, then of course Linus Tech Tips as well. It seems that the RTX 4080 on average is anywhere between 2 to 10% faster in most cases than even the 7900 XTX. But here's the thing though, okay? Here's the thing. You're talking about a $1,000 card for MSRP. Now, naturally, your add-in board partners are going to have some, custom stuff going on, whether it's custom PCBs or maybe even, custom coolers, of course, for that extra cooling horsepower. So naturally, they're gonna, they're going to demand a premium. But it seems like the reference design cards directly from AMD, that might be your better bet for actually getting one at that $1,000 price point that they are advertising again as MSRP. So whenever you look at it that way, if you're spending way less money for, I would say, about 95% of the performance, then by all means go right ahead and do that. Like, if I didn't have a 4080 right now, well, I should say a working one, because we all know what happened a couple weeks ago, right? I actually would buy a 7900 XTX, but here's where AMD is still falling behind: ray tracing performance. Now, personally, I am not a big fan of ray tracing. Like, yes, it might look pretty, it might, add more depth to a game, especially some older games. Like, ray tracing can make some older games look like a brand new game, But whenever it comes to the overall gameplay, it doesn't really add anything to the game for me personally, Now, if I'm playing a single player game and I want something to look like hyper realistic or whatnot, and because I play at 1080p on my main panel here, ray tracing on this panel, it introduces zero performance loss, and that's even without introducing DLSS to the game here. You know what I mean? So on a panel like this, 1080p, everything maxed out, DLSS on for a single player like adventure game or RPG, sure, I'll turn it on just to see what everything looks like. But for online games that support it, even games like World of Warcraft support ray tracing now, I turn all that stuff off because it just doesn't add anything to the overall gameplay for me, especially in an MMO environment, And so, but whenever you're talking about ray tracing performance, unfortunately, the RDNA 3 ray tracing units, whatever you want to call them, they're just not up to snuff yet. Are they a lot better than last gen? Yes, they are by a long shot. But unfortunately, they are just still nowhere near the level of performance that Nvidia offers for their implementation of ray tracing. You know what I mean? So, and on top of that, I also saw a video from Epos Vox talking about the creator side of things. And he said that while, yes, the RDNA 3 encoder is better than last gen, whenever you're talking about the new AV1 support for the RDNA 3 stuff, it's not up to par with what Nvidia and Intel has done with their implementations of it, okay? But keep in mind here, though, okay, everybody, that whenever you're talking about AV1 encoding, not decoding, encoding on the fly live, this is essentially everybody's first foray into it. You know what I mean? So there's going to be some not so good things about it, but maybe next generation or maybe via driver updates as well, they might be able to fine tune that and get more quality out of what we currently already have now. You know what I mean? But as far as overall AV1 quality, Epos Vox did say that while it does look good on AMD, it's very blocky at the same type of bit rate when you compare it to the Nvidia or even the Intel counterpart. You know what I mean? Now then, on top of that as well too, whenever you're talking about creative applications like the Adobe Creative Suite, Creative Cloud, DaVinci Resolve, it seems to me that NVIDIA is still way more popular So naturally, these companies are optimizing their software for Nvidia based cards, and they're able to utilize CUDA a little bit better than what they can utilize the OpenGL stuff for their AMD counterparts. But that still doesn't make them a bad card, okay? For the price you are paying for the newer RDNA 3 cards from AMD, you are getting one heck of a card. I mean, the XTX for less money is giving you 4080 level performance. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's even inching closer to the 4090. Not all the way there, but I would say a good stone's throw away. You know what I mean? So AMD, I'm really proud of you guys and gals. Y'all killed it with this release. You know, first it was the AMD Ryzen 7000, and now the RDNA 3 stuff via the 7900 XT and the XTX version. Like, this kind of release from AMD, especially from their graphics card lines, it really makes me excited for what they're going to be doing on the next line, like their 8000 series, you know what I mean? Or whatever they're going to call it, just their next generation of graphics. Because if they're able to do this now with what they have, and they're able to apply the good stuff from this generation and make that next generational leap in performance for the next round, I really cannot wait to see what AMD is going to do. So everybody, look, what do you think? Are y'all going to go out and try to buy a 7900 XT or XTX, or are you going to just keep what you have? Or an even bigger question here for y'all, if you're a content creator, if you're a streamer, are you going to stick with Nvidia? Are you going to upgrade to a 4000 series? Or maybe if you're on an older card, are you going to get a good deal for a 3000 series card? Do me a huge favor, sound off in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys and gals next time.